How are you?
Good. Welcome back. Yeah.
Good to see you again.
Yeah.
Do you know when I went?
Yeah.
Anyway, I went to China. 5 mountains. Do you know 5 mountains? No. 5 mountains is, I don't know what part of China. Manjushri Mountain. Manjushri Mountain. It's north. It's northern China. It's very, very holy place. I went there with my family. My old parents come from Tibet to there. As me, my father, my uncle, my aunt, my niece, nephews, my brothers. We total like 10 people there. A good time. Then this very holy place. We should go one day there. This is that one super. It started before Buddha's teaching come from China. That's a very long story. Anyway, then I went to the Beijing to say hi for Mao's body. Temen Mao Zedong. You don't know Mao Zedong? Mao Zedong, huh? Chairman Mao. Yeah. I just say hi his body to hi. Good time anyway. Then come back. 2 weeks go church, 1 week, very fast.
When did you get back?
Monday. Yeah. Just only 2 weeks. What are you going to do? Do you going to study? With Tongchila? Good. Good. Do you give good questions him? Good. That's good. Anyway, it's wonderful. You all come back to again study to about emptiness. Right? Emptiness is not easy, but we'll try. Emptiness, we don't talk about it, then nothing exists. They have exist. You can see, you can talk, but they're not exist what we think. That's a little different. We need to, try to put or try to identify how means like that. Between how we see and how really exist things. We need to find that level. But it's not easy to understand. It takes time. And also the Buddhism study, the goal is to, achieve enlightenment, to cultivate positive minds, compassion, bodhicitta, loving kindness, then subdued for the angry, attachment, jealous, hatred. Therefore, ego, like that. This is my main things. Then, right? Also, Buddhism talk about more internal things for mind. We don't really describe for the outside things. We don't have to talk much that. It's whatever that doesn't much fix. The mind is our mind. Okay? That's the main things. Then we go to we go to the tours, we go to see the different holy objects, holy things. It's mixed for our mind to influence to more interest or more benefit, more blessing for our mind. We call it Origination Namter, Jinju Deje Nyamlan. But the previous Buddhas did is later students practice. Is correct? Did I say correct? I just translate for directly. I just translate for meaning, not nice word, not fancy words. What Bodhisattva did, this is our practice. We have to follow like that. That's fine. That's good enough. Right? These are main things. Then, we try to our best every day. Sometimes work, sometimes doesn't work. I'm still have some jet lag. I go back that just 4 or 5 days just jet lag. Then only 4 or 5 days there. Come back again jet lag. Okay, like that. Then I always say don't push too much. Try to your best to understand a little bit about Buddhism. Then try to practice a little bit, much as you can. Also, don't push too much. You have taught very exciting, then you will lost. Therefore, slowly, like turtle. Just walk slowly. Don't give up. Buddhism, it's not some, something you resort to this life. It's hard. Even this life, you study Buddhism to be like a peace person. That's good enough. More relaxed person. More open mind. More flexible person. I'm not saying you are not flexible, but the culture of the Western, you have your own view. If it doesn't work, then you get very mad. Right? Because this is the culture. This is not one person's problem. Also, the Western is a very well-educated person. You need to think to the education way. Sometimes not work all the time. If education, non-education, everyone's doing their daily life things, They like go same directions. Someone work very hard for physically. Someone work very hard for the mentally. Someone have to work all day on a computer. Right? Like you guys most work for computer on all the desk. Some other uneducated people place like physically. But sometimes their people is more healthy. Right? Like my father is 77 years old. He's still pretty healthy. They don't go check doctors. If they're just sick, exhausted, then they go. But even they are not doctors, but like that. Because they work very physically, very hard. Then their body, they automatically they get the exercise. Then we hear education place, people stay the basic all day. Then you worry to your body, also I'm get sick, I'm get fat, I want to go to gym. Try to go all the time gym. Right? We have to do that, but it's different way. Anyway, therefore, we need to, what we study, what we learn that, we try to put into practice much as we can. Okay? And so how can we put, how we do that? Also read the books. Not try to finish a book. Read, try to a couple of times. Then also the meaning of the book stay with your mind, that's good. Otherwise you read, you cover the book, you finish. It's not to work like that. We need to, the meaning of the book, stay our mind. Do like that. Right? Like you follow the cookbook. Cook. Everyone's looking for the cookbook. You want to make some special meal. Then you follow exactly that. You can make the food like test what they say. If you didn't follow, even you look, you didn't follow, it doesn't work. You will be different taste. Like that. If we study all the time, but we didn't really follow or didn't really practice, then doesn't much change ours. Okay? Like that. Then we talked about last week, 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago. I don't really remember what we talked about that. I think today we have verse 46. Sanji chomden de ya ani ji kozon tu yende de so tenji ani son tamba yana de dan de ta o sombare se lawayina ani tula sambayina kanji samba ya dewa tegen du sa ten do son de was
ani shoran ga desa
piri sholo shodan shiji shedu dinge do pa je ta to do de kanji sanji chomden de ga ani ji son tamba yana de dan de ta o sombare samne ani Tenley and Sosu Temlayana, and his Sanjay Garo. Takodo Song Yenden to Suzuki Milama Shat, Tenley Shagondo Chen Sambayana, and Suzuku Sambaya Dawa, Devateata. What did Shagadu say?
And so today we start from the verse 46. Previously I was talking about how we generate a sense of bliss or happiness when we think about the teaching of this teaching that was given by the Buddha. So by remembering his qualities of his holy body, holy speech, and holy mind.
아니 딘 대다 매도 쇼한다 산지 좀 된 대기 송 그러면 대다군에 딱 할래바리 매도 쇼마레 아니 이나 딘데를 로즈나 መን케비 교 저도 아니 딱 신주 들어와 벤타와 신주 사월 개와 못통하지 가리죠 약간을 파티 전자네 파티 가가시면 들으시죠 근데도 어제네 아니 오늘 산지 좀 된 대기 딱지 Ngedan Tandanda, Ngedan Sonshavate Kaka, Mashing, Mungawatu, Tak Kadina, Ecolea, some took the Reset.
And then in verse 46 it says, this excellent system, most marvelous, some individuals who are not so learned have entangled in it utter confusion, just like the tangled balbaza grass. So people who are not learned in the definitive and interpretive meanings of the Buddha's teaching, then they are kind of confused with not knowing about the differences of that.
아니 대 미싱이 제워도 아니 다 아니 지까지나 tel라 digde사도로.
So it's like it says here, this excellent system, most marvelous. So the marvelous and excellent system, talking about the Buddha's teaching, because by depending on that, one can achieve sort of liberation and even full enlightenment. So because of having that quality, therefore Buddha's teaching is the most marvelous and excellent. But because of some individuals not knowing about that, are entangled in outer confusion.
내가 간다라는 산지 좀 된데가 아니 송시가 때 달루 삼보리 보이면 된데 가는 소속이 제와 있나 아니 체치 리치래 산지 공부터요. 그러와
So the reason why Buddha's system of the teaching is marvelous or excellent is because if we do practice those teachings of the Buddha, then we can achieve enlightenment even in one single lifetime.
다 나신게 아니 지금 제와 아니 온보 란디 타슨 참에 냠래요.
And like that also the teaching is available, to be practiced by all level of intelligence. So those who are very intelligent or not very intelligent or lesser intelligent, like that.
다 나신게 지금 소수 삼로지 야고 땅터바나 응원이 소수 레벨을 저 걸리지는 될아야 아니 랜드를 산지 좀 되고 송은 라고요.
And whatever confusions or questions we have can be solved or answered through the Buddha's teaching.
그러와 아니 댕이 아니 잡을라다 출루하자만 보다 얘나야 소수가 대두세야 돼. 소수가 생활하래서 생디 아주 인유래서.
So there are so many different religions in this world, but that which proclaims that the happiness and suffering of individual depends on mind. One's mind is very rare.
그러봐. 디나니 아니 소소지 맞게 봐도 대화면 봐도 단자 말이 봐. 알아채 봐도 제네들의 형어를 사대 다 되는 형어래.
And then even among them, those who proclaim that all these sufferings and they come from especially grasping at the true existence is even more rare.
그러봐. 그래서 단자 짜제들 부르지 말이면 맞지 끝낸 더 사대 지금 뭐지도 송어를 봤어. And
so that's why Lama Zopa said that sentient beings are caught in the net of the self-grasping ignorance. So we don't have to depend on Buddha's teaching to prove that it is the self-grasping ignorance which causes all these problems. We don't have to say, oh, because Buddha's teaching said, therefore it is like that. It's not like that. You can check it by yourself. So how much strong self-grasping ignorance one has, or how much strong self-cherishing attitude one has, that much more problem one will be in. So you don't have to refer to the teaching for that. Just by just from one's own experience, one can understand that.
Okay. Oh, today that any tindiga any yawama bosho that losing the American, lose some tawa chimbu yamle, tawa drinking yamle, tawa chewing yamle. Ah, Mobosha Kaja, Kansa, Samata, Tama Mobosha, Tam Makiba to go, any time drink the race, Kaji, they party Yawamashiva chain, and tindigan thing it there, any Jagala Shomare, Kuala Shomale. And
so there's all this excellent teaching or system of teaching taught by Buddha for all level of students, for the beings with a higher capacity. There's a higher teachings to be practiced, and for those with a middling capacity or lower capacity, and they have all different kinds of level of teachings to be practiced. So those who are not learned about those, then are entangled, in the confusion. So that kind of beings, who are caught in this confusion, there are many, in India, also many in Tibet and so forth.
What is that? What is it? That any number can number says that to Kadi and Bana, and it Kazana, and it Tannesuma the Karim Bahamo Jenny. So because
of not understanding the reality or the actual mode of existence, beings are entangled in that confusion. So tangled, all mixed up, right? Messed up, not able to sort it out, clearly. So so tangling, tangled, with the of all these different kind of teachings, tangled, like the sutra teachings tangled with the tantric teachings, or other, the Vinaya teachings tangled with the tantra teachings and so forth, and then also saying that if you are practicing Vinaya, then you should not practice the tantra at all, or if you are practicing tantra, you should not Vinaya. So things like vice versa. So saying those kind of things are like tangled in confusion.
And Namaya George Pelabe Kablaya, and then Locha one Chesamo says, Pajimari, and the compare with the Kabajo, and the George the Kondamaya Pa, the Tawatale Kalaya, and the Pem Museum Kaba George, the child of the not playing Ogo, and the water to go in.
And so at the time when Lama Atisha came to Tibet to kind of untangle those teachings that were tangled by all these different confusions, and at that time there was also this great translator called Lotsa Orinja Sangpo, and two of them they were discussing about the Lotsa Orinja Sangpo from Tibet, who was also very, very learned, and looking at his knowledge of this teaching, Lama Atisha thought, so while you were here, there was no need for me to really be here. So that was the kind of thought Lama Atisha had, and to show that how much learned Lotsa Orinja Sangpo was.
And you imagine Geshe Ngawang and George Sideokalaya, and Lotsa Orinja Sangpo, Geshe Ngawang, the Yashanji, the Kambatsa Sum, Yoserva, and the Tambo Kabatsa Tambo de Gomja, then anybody are Gomja, and somebody on Gomja, then it was no one.
And so one day, while Lama Atisha was sleeping in the bed, early in the morning, the dawn, Lotsa Orinja Sangpo did a meditation. The first he meditated on the first floor, second floor,
third floor,
and then third floor, like that.
And the George get the Chante Kachi, the Tangi Tambo Shajo, then the Shajo, then the Najin Yos, Kambatsa, Pamelatan,
and then Lama Atisha asked, what are you doing, and why you are meditating on different floors? And he said, first I was meditating on the action tantra in the first floor, and then performance tantra on the second floor, and then yoga tantra on the third floor. And
then George, le tanga you want the penalty you societies, then Mares also my body.
So then Lama Atisha thought, maybe there is some benefit of me coming here. That's not how you do the practice of tantra.
Today that Pavan Zajan, the Nabakan, the Bajan, Takaji, Ghost Matuajan, Chiji, Chuzanaya, the young Sibar was.
So that's kind of the tangle in the confusion, right? And so that's because of not understanding. So there could be some Westerners like that also, tangled in confusion.
Today the Tash organized today the Ta and Sanjego and Gumbadia was Toto Mares. Today the Tangarangi, Tas and Sanjay Gumbatikaro. Gumbata 7 years. Gumbata to the Karimba 7 years a day, Sholoka and Shibdini on the was.
And so those beings who are not very learned doesn't understand the reality Buddha's teaching. And so in verse 47 he sort of says that I'm going to search the actual teachings of the Buddha.
What the touch to what?
So let's read that together. Seeing this situation, I strove with a multitude of efforts to follow after the learned ones and sought your attention again and again.
Je Tsongkhapa ani darkness Sulaya tak karela mateva kale kaya mateva ani jiga mateva beba teme ani kepe ombo tanda ani koranga gege wada saje kanya resu majo gengala tene ani saje chomdende je goma tatu de samotombaji da ni tsewa yin se adoro beba teme kebayi jizanda ni chijena gomba yara ya tsalas tsewa yin se.
And so it says, like, I strove, with a multitude of efforts, to follow after the learned ones. So the learned ones of all kinds, of all, tradition of Tibetan Buddhism, in order to find the intention of the Buddha's teaching.
What the Yenda Imba that any around there, Yendeda, any Julu Jata Mambo, Jean Tata Jawamada, Chadang Sheso Montego, Wangi, Sheso, not all you be Wanga, and the Sanjun to the Gomba, Toji Pashani, Telatine, that Tesum, Pay the Mambo Chene, any.
So since there are also many teachings of the Buddha, or many commentaries.
Then the Seva Yenda Yemba Yanaya, Tiwo de Shoshiba, Randedan, Yendedan, Jumala Java Shebe, they Toa Pashani, and it does some Yenda chess center, dark Yenda Gunda dance.
And so that because there are so many, systems or commentary of the Buddha's teachings, so like that's called our one system and other system or other school, and also all different kinds of explanation and of the Buddha's teaching. So looking at all this, and instead of coming to understand the reality, you come into even more confusion. So because all these differences, all the different explanations or teachings, like of our own system or other system and so forth, it just even get more confusion. So this is what is said in the next verse, 48. Right? So let's read that. At such times, and as I studied the numerous works of both our own middle way and other schools, my mind became tormented ever more, constantly by the network of doubts.
Randeda Jendegi and Gumbadan Tatu Toala and Jendeg Pressure Jango was the Madan to Marwa.
So in order to understand both our own system and other school system, you have to study other school system also, right? If you don't understand that, you can't tell the difference of our own system and other system.
And the Lumba Chembe Jacob Trum down Susu Manda Hagola, Lumba Jacob Trum to Hago, the Hamagona, not to Kashato Marwa.
So in order to understand the differences between the rules of this country and other country, you have to understand the rules of other country. Otherwise, you will not know the differences of this and other countries' rules.
What in that rules and Seva Yenda Yana, they Sevala, Mambo Jango, Jamala Teni, that Tesum Mambo, Chewamato, and Lela of Togoman, who's Tenangatas, Jiramoja Kwana, when they touch Yetano with Chesum, Chesama.
So you have to study all kinds of schools, all the systems of the different schools, and when you study that, then they all explain in a different way, and so it's very easy to get more doubts, more questions and doubts about that. So it's a kind of like, in other words, it's like like I'm kind of give up now, so not it's too much to study about like that.
And Nima Jiramoche ya the Gomjero Kavaya, Jiramoche and some Jambe Angus Shasigo Sarva. And Jiramoche Jambelia, that you take it down, then there's some good, then there is Shonguna, and the Jiram Jambe, Montana, Sonam Sosa Gondos. And Danda or Kunsamla Lochuni the Chuk or the Namaro.
And so during that time, Lama Tsongkhapa kind of has had a direct vision of Manjushri, like person to person. He will talk to Manjushri and explain his thinkings, his studies, or kind of take give a test. Actually, what is it? Offer test, but like Manjushri will take test of Lama Tsongkhapa, and then Lama Tsongkhapa will have to answer. And then sometimes he would say, "Oh, you don't have enough merit, to understand all this, so you have to go, create more merit." And for that, Lama Tsongkhapa even went into a retreat for 12 years, to create more merit to understand these teachings.
And
so he, was instructed, to make mandala offerings. So at that time, he used a stone slate, like a flat stone, as a base, to offer mandala. So every time he rub his hand palm, and then it's like he was injured, and then skins came off, from doing so much of rubbing, on the stone to make mandala offering. And so at the time when you make mandala offerings, of course it's all done through the imagination. So if you really do it well, then you definitely create a great amount of merit.
What is 어텔레지나 간다라니 레라오지 또고면도 갈레 자와인스 아니 산지 좀 된데가 아니 지금 딱 그리고 딱 dombalana 봐서 그나면도 아니 된데라야 문케버도 아니 제단라 아니 때는 나랑 그 배바 토마지나 갈레쇼 자와인스 임바야나 텔레라오지 문도 안 텔레데 테토마요네 다 생겨도 작은 우소한 버리.
And so, anyway, so he's saying that he studied with a multitude of efforts. He followed different learned ones, and studied all different kinds. But is that it gets even more doubt. So it's not easy. Yeah, it was very hard, very difficult, and so he said he's very tired of all these studies.
어디 다 저러가 아니 시작했더만 다 고마 녀스. 아 산지 좀 고마는 누지 녀스 오세 들마. 다 쉽죠. 제그 맞죠 아주 저러가 섬데 냠는다 잖아요. 하는 거 갈래 만드시 시작.
And then after that, then he experienced how he really found, through studying what, did he really find the actual intention of the Buddha. And so that's explained in verse 49, 50, and 51. So let's read those three verses. The night lily grove of Nagarjuna's treatise, Nagarjuna whom you prophesied, will unravel your excellent extent, as it is, shunning extremes of existence and non-existence, illuminated by the garlands of the white lights of candles and well-uttered insights, Chandra whose stainless wisdom orbs is full, who glides freely across scriptural space, who dispels the darkness of extremist hearts and outshines the constellations of the false speakers. When through my teacher's kindness I saw these, my mind found rest at last. You understand?
How's it? Everyone understand?
Oh,
yes.
Can you help me understand the visualization of gliding freely across scripture space with that?
Yeah, we'll go through that.
Yeah. We go through the, but I just ask you guys understand.
Do you understand the three verses that we just recited?
Or just something kind of poetry.
Just like a poetry.
It's like poetry, right? Tande karna ani yemba yana as. Ta sanje chomde ne cheje ani cheje lame tevi tsulas yodame ben tapande chejen java lunten baas. Ani sanje chomde nege ani chigi 대화 전부 남자 대화 중인 남자 대화 레위가 남자 다 나진 게 아니 지금 땅다다 천다 방위가 남자 제제는 대화 르던바도 그래 아니 바발로 접기로 돼서 그래서 바발로 접래서 봐 르도줄에 르된 살았어.
And so anyway, so Nagarjuna, who you prophesied, like the Buddha Shakyamuni himself prophesied Nagarjuna, and he's the one who unraveled your excellent vehicles, these unexcelled vehicles, like the teachings of the Mahayana, teachings of the middle way, middle vehicle, and then the lesser vehicles and so forth. So the one who explained that, and also the extreme, who shunned the extreme of existence and non-existence, is the Nagarjuna, who is prophesied by you. Buddha.
and tendikale kawore tedong tawa tagdena te shashame tanda ani jemaluwa chene ane lhada lami mingada ane susuga kale jabala te ne ane jiga sanji chomdendega ane tembega ne tada kanga yembate ane ngumbolo dhuki luntewa nanje chene ta tsewa yidrowa.
And so earlier he said, he went through all these studies, but he got even more confused, and he kind of gave up. But then later he said, so just like he was instructed by his gurus and deities, and then through his own effort, he searched for the actual intention of the Buddhas through the teachings given by Nagarjuna.
Rosho bede yetana gelong pate shida ba temile jimbe ba de yodame be shonchi pa ani yonda kare yimba menda kare yimba ani tiga ta chiki santi chomden de ani gombala na me ba den jengere se santi chomden de lute shagero was.
So Buddha Shakyamuni prophesied during his time. So he said that in the southern Bede country there will be this person known as Nagarjuna, and who will who will unravel, like the actual existence and non-existence and so forth. So that's what Buddha said even during the Buddha's time, even before like Nagarjuna's time. Buddha already prophesied about him.
Okay, 다들 뭐 배송 거래. 루드줄로 근디 살세인도 와. 아니 바바 루드기 중대 아니 메토 근디 사들라. 배송 메토 근디 사대 아니 답 메토 까고 야부셔서도 와. 사와사사 제라지. 아니 님의 공을 맞게 봐요. 감 받든지 공다 아니 다베를 왜 있다는 걸 아니 같이 세우지 치면 님의 도시에서 메토 근디 사시.
So like the Nagarjuna's treatise, was example. Use example as of the night lily. Yes, it's a night lily. So the night lily is a lily flower. It's a white flower, which kind of opens up in the night, through the cool light of the moon.
아니 고물르지 다 빠데 다와 아니 빠데 다베고 송데 아니 다 다베고 배자래 다베고 배.
And then the Chanda Kirti's teaching were example as a moon.
그래서 고물르도 그 슝데 아니 메토근지 살라 배자. 아니 빠데 다베게 슝데 아니 다와라 배자. 다베가 왜데 메토근들 잘 잡아이나 아니 메토근데 같이 용와. 대양 아니 직답 채와도 맞에 안 대양 아니 지 다 다와냐 가서 강화 점지 메토 다 휴체 용와. 델라테니 아니 지 다베 왜 남칼라 강도와. 델라테니 아니 그거 넘바도 파센도와. 아니 델라테니 어떤 작성을 들리게 배요. 맞들리는 막 배시 송을 해서 이제.
And so here the night lily is used as Buddha Nagarjuna's treatise, Nagarjuna's teaching, and the moon as example of Chantakirti's teaching. So and so the moon and the lily, night lily are very connected, right? And very connected, related, because depending on the moon, the night lily will open, right? And then depending on how round or how full the moon is, that much the lily will open. And so this is the example, so like the Chandakirti's teaching kind of opens up the Nagarjuna's teaching like that.
Okay. Yes.
How long was it after Nagarjuna's teaching that Chantakirti expounded on them?
그러.
Gumulurugi the jela, lokade jela, tizukade jela tene kasa padenda opene tene gumulurugi sungri tenaores.
다들 로딩 같은 데 라이마다 가디래. 바데 고물르도 다
공부 동산에 이거 공부 쉬우고 소리 근데
되니 바디 가데 tenga 텐데 라이마다. 간제 고물르도기 슌루고 텐다데 바데 데베가 텐데 해전에 고고요서만 고야 돼.
I'm not sure about the time frame. But it said that the Nagarjuna's teaching was well explained by Chandakirti.
나 다시 뜻했어야다. 뭐 단건 뭐도 간제 아니 단다 빠데 다베가 쇼강 좀 사와테 아니 공부를 그 쇼도 내가 자대 그래.
And so most of the the teachings Chandakirti gave were actually the commentary of Nagarjuna's teachings.
또 그래서 공부를 그 쇼가 된다데 하먹어 얘나야 아니 되게 된다데 빠데 다베 파정서만 세워하고 어떻게 거서.
Nagarjuna's treatise were not understood, and then later Chandakirti gave the commentary, and then through that they become more clear, so understandable.
근데 배사서 나는 매도 근지 세대 코 같음 되는 다니미가 다 고다 다와 차원서 말아 아니 그 추가시한 거로 그 세워 있던 거로 되는 거로.
So just like the example, the night lily is closed during the daytime, but then when it becomes night, dark, and then the moon comes out, then it starts to open. So it's just like that, the moon opens, the lily, just like that, the Chandakirti's teaching, make it more understandable of Nagarjuna's teaching.
또 대면 준비 중kur 제세대 아니 빠데 다웨기 줄라테네 아니 공부로도 그송 산지 좀 된데 공부라 남에 바티 아니 쳔베가 아니 쳔바티 다투 강용 거래
whose stainless wisdom of is full. It's like, so through Chandakirti's teaching, you'll be able to understand. You'll be able to understand, the Buddha's teaching or Nagarjuna's teaching. So your wisdom, of understanding Buddha's teaching and Naga's teaching will become full. So when you say stainless, stainless means like a pure. So with a stain, stained and stainless. Stained, will be not pure. So stainless is like the pure, the untainted, like pure teachings, not the Buddha. So just like when the moon becomes full, then the night lily will also open up more.
Suram kala tome jesana tendiga tama maybe an chimbi chingo the kasi jawaina ane sanji chomden dego surab chason de touching on the toma memang to talk to it.
And so when it says who glides freely across scriptural space, it's like if you are able to understand, able to gain that stainless wisdom of knowing Chandakirti's teaching, then through that you'll be able to freely understand all the scriptures, all the teachings of the Buddha. And so it's just like when the moon becomes so full, completely full, and that the rays of the moon will spread throughout the space. And then if the light of the moon is full and rays are spreading all over, and then all this the darkness of darkness of grasping at the extreme of nihilism and nihilism will be eliminated by the light of the moon.
Lomi jakar sunnam basana ani ta tela dene ani sanje chomde ko sonshi malawa to anda da loba ma to cha to mega son do re pe na ani davega ani chi ta jakar so cha to sujine do da dawa ga kapchina kama do ko chu cha do da pa sujine na mega cha do re.
So he says who dispels the darkness of extremist hearts, right? So that's what it means. And then it says outshine the constellations of the false figures. So the constellations are the small stars, right? So when the light of the moon is bright, then the shine, the light of the constellations will become very small, will not be able to see much. So you understand the example? If you understand the example, then it will become easier to understand the meaning. So is it true that when the moon light shines, the lily, the night lily will open? Is it true? Is that kind of?
I've never heard of a flower. Is that true? Is there a night lily?
Night lily.
Does that exist?
So then there's like a sunflower also, right? Sunflower which opens up when sun shines, but when there's no sun in the night, it kind of closes up. Is that right? The sunflower.
I know that they close up at night.
Yeah. Some they do, maybe not all of them, right?
So
anyway, so if you don't know the lily, night lily, then you can think about the sunflower as example.
Okay. Oda per take on the pe code of the Gumbolo and Gumbolo Ju Karshiko, Sanjay Chumden, the Julugo, that never so something. That thing Gumbolo Rang Jula and Hamagona, but the David tape is Sewichin is one of the telephone code is.
So that example, what it means is that like Nagarjuna explained the teachings of the Buddha, right? So Naga explained the teachings of the Buddha. But if you can't even understand Nagarjuna's the explanation of Buddha's teaching, then you can understand through Chandakirti's explanation of Nagarjuna's teaching.
Right? And the pay or that dangerous people. they all come back soon.
Bookstore.
Bookstore. Sanjay soon and the Khensur Tamajata jail. And then I said,
So there's Buddha's teaching, so when it says Buddha's teaching, that means like, taught by Buddha himself, straight by Buddha himself. So Buddha's teaching, and there are like 108 volumes, that includes all the teachings of the Buddha.
Then Degan Trevalaya, and his Jag Pindu Chibdingo song, and the dangerous Tambani Janushilas.
And then there is the explanation or the commentary, of the Buddha's teaching. That was commentated by about 17 scholars of India, and that's like 220 something volumes of scripture as a commentary of Buddha's teaching. So those are all commentated by the learned from India. So those learned from India includes like Nagarjuna, Chandakirti, and so forth. So there is an explanation by Nagarjuna, and then there's also an explanation by Chandakirti, to the explanation of Nagarjuna, so which sort of makes it a little bit easier to understand Nagarjuna's teachings.
And
so those there are like the common one, the teachings, the common ones, given by Nagarjuna, the fundamental wisdom, and then there's the 400 verses of the middle ways, view, and so forth. So those are the teachings.
And Tegan Davala, Bena Uma Tawag Davala, and Tashi Tuchin Sachi, and Jirambachig, never the song.
And then there is also a commentary, by Lama Zopa to the fundamental wisdom, taught by Nagarjuna.
And Hanashi, but the Daveg so Oman Jubasa, Tenamjo, and Desatolaya, and Shunkabu, Nata Yukalaya, Oman Juba, Omega Taya to the Oman Juba Tagre.
And then and also there is a text known as Engaging in the Middle Way, written, taught and written by Chandakirti. So that's one of the major texts that's studied in the monastery to become a Geshe. And so that is the actual kind of the commentary to Nagarjuna's fundamental wisdoms and the 400 verses of the middle way.
Oma Shijabado, Oma Tawashada, Oma Regentry, the Tenade, Konotan Hakumdena, Oman Jubala Tawayena, Ale Tetasuako.
So this is a commentary to Nagarjuna's fundamental wisdom or precious garland and precious middle way, and then the 400 verses of the middle way. So it says even if it's difficult to understand Nagarjuna's those teachings, but by studying Chandakirti's engaging in the middle way, we can understand that. And then for us, even that is difficult to be understood. Like the Chandakirti's engaging in the middle way is also difficult to understand. And so then Lama Zopa made it even easier for us to understand, and he commented on that. And then there's called so there's and a clear explanation of the engaging in the middle way. And then even that is difficult to understand. So Lama Tsongkhapa's commentary is even so then there is the general meaning of the middle way, composed by other Tibetan masters. And even that is difficult to understand, right? And so now there are so many teachers, in the West and around the world who have given a commentary, to those teachings. And so what is he talking about that is so difficult for us? It's all about emptiness.
And Tomani Tawan Peser, Tomani Telan Peser, Tomani Gani, Nabzating, like a cheddar, or teaching us on the
So it's all about emptiness. So what is emptiness, and how is emptiness established? How things work around emptiness and so forth.
아니 다 동반이 되지 약속도 가지 아니 된대들.
And so, what is the best reason, best logical reason? What is the most effective or the best logical reason to prove about emptiness? Is the dependent arising.
근데 된대서들 니치 된대 답에 되죠다 진대 된주스 니용도 왔어.
So the dependent arising, there are two types, right? The dependent arising, of the cause and effect, and the dependent arising, of dependency.
그래서 아니 진대 된주스야 tel라 때네 빼 tel라 때네 아니 때네 답에 된주스 되는 것도 거니까 그거.
So when we talk about dependent arising, through dependence, like through depending on the labels and so forth, is understood through understanding the dependent arising of cause and effect.
So that 진대 된주스 먼저 남지 민 통화대가 고대가 먼저 남지 이런 너대가 되래. 대답되고 그래.
So dependent arising of cause and effect, so how the cause depends on the effect or effect depends on the cause, is very easy for us to understand. That's something that we deal with every day in our life. So right now in this room, the temperature is very nice. It's cool and pleasant. So what created that? What it depends on, right? It depends on the air conditioning. So through depending on the air conditioning, you're able to have a good, nice feeling atmosphere or temperature in this room. So if you turn that off, there will be no this coolness, right? So that's because you kill the cause, right? If there's no cause, there will be no result. That's the reality, right?
진대기 때문에 약오징어도 거하지 니토와이나 대어 산지 안테 산지가 라바인다 때 남베라들은 마사마치 뭐 내서 제대로 대하거나 안에 때는 답에 되셔야 되는 것도 거래라요 그래 지지는 것도 땐답이 내려고 갖고 오는 사람들 간도 야뭐 갖고 오면 맞대 그거 말해.
And so if we really understand the dependent arising of the cause and effect, then really understand really well, not just saying that this is what Buddha said, but this is what Buddhism said, not just saying things like that, but really understand from one side. Then it will become easier to understand the dependent arising, of depending on the label, the nomination, and so forth. So some people we might think, it makes sense, right? It makes sense that it all depends on the label, how it is nominated as something, and therefore it exists that way. It makes sense. So people think that I understand that, but no, we don't really understand that. So then we might think that how will it benefit us if we understand that? How will it benefit us? And so we always want to have happiness, right? The happiness, physical and mental happiness, and we always want to be free from the physical and mental unhappiness or discomforts, right? So if you understand the dependent arising of the cause and effect, then you will think about that. Okay, so I want to have happiness. The happiness comes from the cause. So what is the cause of happiness? Then you will strive for that. And then the suffering comes from this cause. So what is the cause of suffering? And if I don't want to have this suffering, then I have to kill that cause. So then you will think, when you strive to abandon that cause. So if you understand the dependent origination of cause and effect, then you will strive on that. So I think this is a good example in this country, like where people don't get medicine right away. Right? Even if they are so sick and about to die, they still don't get medicine. They will be, they're told to do so many different tests. Right? First, go to do the X-ray and do this test, blood test, and all that, and then after, finally, maybe they will give medicine. Even if they are very serious, they will not.
카투콘 나데는 콘 멘테금도.
And so, like, they are looking for the root cause of that disease, right? Yeah, where it's coming from? What is the real cause of this disease? They're looking for that. They don't give you just medicine right away like that.
그래서 피 저하고 딱콘 내드에서 콘 나산데 땅가도 콘 메드니 잘로도 왔다네. 메드는 콘 나든 나서 메고서요. 와.
So you understand the cause, from where, even though the pain is here in the front, but maybe it's coming from the back. The disease is in the back, and you feel the pain in the front. So you give the medicine, to the disease, medicine for the disease in the back, then front pain will be gone.
Right? 그래서 자가 옛날 너도 저거는 나 카드 저거는 멘테, 거는 나 카드 거 멘테 그랬어. 그 잡로 가래 막 가는 딱 말해.
So in India, if you go to a clinic, they ask for medicine. If you say, oh, there's a pain in the front, they will give medicine for the front. There's a pain in the back, they will give medicine for the back. They don't check where the cause of that pain is coming from. So here, the doctors don't give medicine right away, right? They find out, what the disease is, where this.
The painkiller was the painkiller was.
The best you can get is the painkiller, right?
Oh, tenaji, Kanaku Nasa Tawada Kawachejo, Tenakardo was. So you look for the root, of the disease, root of the pain that you are having, right? So once you cut that root, then you will have no pain. Then the tongue of the Nambichu, Chera, Devadona, David Je Tsongkhapa das. Dunga Dunga Je Tsongkhapa dance Maribata. Teme was Ogerson, tongue of the pig, Buddha of the Tachu. That day, and a gender dangerous, Telatene, and a tenant of the dangerous, I think on the Tashu Pengu that they are was Kwanyatana. And so just like that in Buddhism, talk about the cause. So what is the cause of the suffering? It's a self-grasping ignorance. So when you understand that, then through understanding the dependent origination of how things exist, through labeling, through conception and so forth, and then you understand that. So then you cut the root of that suffering, and then all the sufferings will be will be eliminated. Okay. Today is going to Suzu Sem Makiwa. Sem Dungate Mewa Katu Sotoyana and the patient Lozo Chigo Kayumare. Lozo Kalajago Kayumare. And you Suzu Dunga Suzu Lela Satoyana. Tango Tematona Tessag Tapsi. Tandricha and Ducha that Tafi the Gicho and Moon and the Matas in the Jato. So if we can eliminate our sufferings easily, then we don't have to go through all these studies and practice, right? We can just do it easily. But because we cannot, therefore we study that. We're looking for a means, how we can, what causes the suffering, and how we can free ourselves from these sufferings. Tende yawa tayang ane lambe tenjin thongwe te dake te yawa tayang ane susu ane tsawe lambe ke tene ma deshe jawala tene shongwa re ane tsawe lamala tene sosa doja te bane shongwa yinza tante ngela nga senju cha dewa dang tan tene towa ane nga dake yichi nga so towa dang ta nga simbale le do cha song se. And so that it says through my teacher's kindness, right? So because his teacher explained to him that he should do this and that, so forth. And by doing that, by creating merit, doing this practice, to accumulate merit and so forth. So through that, then he says, I saw this, and then my mind, when I saw this, and my mind found rest at last. And so now, through that, he was able to understand, and now his mind, he found rest at last. College, the high school, college the high school lojo de gege ma ndese jab su lojo chebala tene tango shogra wara godrite. So you all graduated from high school and from colleges, right? And so how did you do that? Through your own study and through the teachers and through your teachers instruction, right? Through that, and then you were able to graduate. Gege chene me wala high school graduate chere, college graduate chere. Can you graduate without a teacher? Graduate from high school or from college without teacher? So, but in the Western culture, it's not the teachers are not very considered as very kind or precious, right? Respected.
It's just that says, I worked hard. I worked hard, right? So that's how things people think. How people think. That's the kind of the culture here. So it's not bad, but it's just the way people think. So of course we worked hard, right? So but if there's nobody there to explain to us, then even if we work hard, how could we understand, right? We'll be stuck there. So that's what Lama Tsongkhapa is saying here. So it says through understanding the treatise of Nagarjuna through the commentary of Chandakirti is through the kindness of the teacher, and of course also I worked hard. It is a multitude of efforts, right? So he made that. Through that now he understood it, and now he finds rest at last. Okay. So now you understand what we just read, the 3 verses? Become a little bit more clear?
A little bit more. So
it's like kind of poetry, right? So but even if it's pretty clear in English though, right?
Yeah. Any questions?
So that's okay. If you don't have questions, just read it through again and again, carefully contemplating on the meaning, and try to understand. And so there are many different tenets, like the views of this, the different views of Tibetan Buddhism. Even in Tibetan Buddhism, there are many different tenets, right? They all have different views, and not only Buddhist view, Buddhist tenets, even in other non-Buddhist tenets, there are also non-Buddhist tenets. They have different views, so they all explain all these different things. So it's really difficult to understand which is the real. Who is explaining the real one? So it's really difficult to understand that. And so Buddha himself prophesied, saying that after 400 years of my passing away, there will be a teacher, whose name will be Nagarjuna, and who will explain clearly what exists and what doesn't exist. And even the text written by Lama Tsongkhapa were very similar to the text written by like the Indian masters like Nagarjuna and Chandakirtis and so forth. And So there was this great master in Tibet called Prutu Tumpa. He's a great master who composed over about 150 volumes of scriptures. He composed. So there hasn't been any master in Tibet who has composed so much as he did. So one day, when he was he was sitting outside and doing his meditation, and then he saw in Tibet there were like beggars. Usually the beggars, they will just go around begging and reciting prayers. And then there was one beggar who was reciting this in praise of dependent origination by Lama Tsongkhapa. He was just reciting that, and then this great master who was listening, and then when he said, "Oh, that sounds like a Nagarjuna's teaching, that sounds like Nagarjuna's text," and then he said, but then he heard about this, like the Night Lily Grove of Nagarjuna's treatise, and said, "Oh, that might not be Nagarjuna's treatise," and then later he heard this about Chandakirti, the well-ordered insights. So because he thought it was not Nagarjuna, he said, "Oh, must be the Chandakirti's treatise." And then when he heard this Chandaras well-ordered insight, and he said, "Oh, that might not be Chandakirti's treatise either. So who composed it?" And then he called the beggar and asked him, about the text, and he said, "Oh, this text is called In Praise of Dependent Rising, and written by Lama Tsongkhapa. He's a great master who lives up there in the monastery." And then the Bodhin Tempa, he was like very impressed by this teaching, and he said, "Oh, this is a great master. I must go and see him." And then on the way we went there, and then on the way he found that Lama Tsongkhapa has already passed away, and so he was not able to see Lama Tsongkhapa.
배산데 뱀면선배가 안 당고는 송도 와서 자가야 레저게 하고 신경이야 당연히 레션이 뭐 아니 레저가 빠져서 봐 아니 군도 게이트도 걸 아니 다 지름 붙여 손에 간데도 아니 지금 송당한테 간데도나 다 내가 빠데 다와 동고물도 코나봐도 손나다 치빠지지 않도스 빠져서 레저 걸 어디 송도 군도 송도 봐.
And then, so this the teachings of Lama Tsongkhapa, the composition of Lama Tsongkhapa is very similar to the great masters of India, like Nagarjuna, Chandakirti, and so forth. So there was just this text, commentary. It's called the eloquent speech, of the interpretive and definitive meaning, written by Lama Tsongkhapa, and that was translated back into the Sanskrit. And then His Holiness said, "How is it? What do you think of this writing?" And they said this writing, when it was translated back into the Sanskrit, and they say sounds exactly like the writings of Nagarjuna and Chandakirti.
Today jiram boche so le lawo no do hakko ma pe mezo kale ko jiram boche la ya an sombom jiram so bon pot job je ro an pe mezo be kale kawore ina ya 가르고 당한도 근데 때를 놓쳐 줘야죠. 내가도 손은 것도 달라고지 쌓여면 나도 제도 말아.
And so the Lama Tsongkhapa's text is very difficult to understand, in a sense that it's very similar to the writings of the great masters of India, like Nagarjuna, Chandakirti, and so forth. And so unless we have a good amount of merit, it will not be easy to understand.
Okay. Then, any questions? Yes.
Aryadeva was a direct disciple of Nagarjuna.
I know.
Pabala.
Shiwala, Pabala.
Pabala. Shiwala the Shanti Davaji. Ayada was there. Pabala. Pabala de Gumbulu Lomangora.
정말 가도 내 개인한테 로마도 진시에면서 또 강가 로지디 하우스는 가도 로지 하우스네.
So Geshe is not very sure about the biography
whose teacher
Lama Nagarjuna and his disciples, but according to the other biography, Ayadeva is said to be the direct disciple of Nagarjuna.
I am the
That's right.
Yeah.
But that was not as influential as Chakravarti's introduction to the Wu Wei.
the almost jeopardy that another garza patent dawagi almost gonashi garza de sebuya marabesi almost jeopardy
ta namjunga zo yonda lojo chedi almost jeopardy le la no tene jiro ti de ma jagina.
There's nothing about like influential or not, but it's just that that's the text, the engaging in the middle way by Chandakirti was the one that was used, by the monastery, to study about middle way, when they started to become Geshe.
In the Shetan to so kange je chiboran go je chiboran ta chi same message the Shetan damla kisewa.
Yes, the subject matter is all about same, it's the same, right? But it's just maybe the way it is explained and whether it's clear or not, can be different like that.
아니 간제 저 동반이 때는 밥단 담마다. 아니 저밥 당당 담마다 되는 자로.
So how you establish the emptiness or how you apply the reasonings, that can be different.
아니 지금 또또 다질에 껴와 바꿔서 되게 간에 때라 바꿔로.
And then the way you defeat, or refute, how you refute, the refutation part can be different also.
Okay. Yes. Any other questions? Yes.
I meditate on dependent arising, and I pick an object, and I try to think of how many different ways that it depends on this and that. It's not subtle enough for me to understand emptiness. So I usually understand emptiness more clearly when I look for the object and can't find it. When I search every part of the object and I can't find the thing that I label the thing as. And is that the same as dependent origination, or is that more subtle?
Good.
다 그런 게 당아도 텐데레스는 제제 셔바나 다 때나 유질라 다 미긴라 유데 가르 땡기도 스타디 다 요발라는 가르 땡기도 달라 때 삼바이나 거든 동문이 하고 그랬어. 이나 다 땡거는 다 걸어대 쟤네 냐면 상선 되는 동문이 하고 그랬어. 대체는 다 쟤네 냐면 대체는 티데스다 타워를 해서 그랬어. 쟤네 딱 봐야 하고 알아다. 하고 알아도 때는 냐면 하고 어디 타워를 해서
알래. 때네 많이 봐.
때는 딱 봐.
때네 딱 봐야 하고 어디.
때는 딱 봤다. 데코 텔레땡거 때는 다 코디 도데 거라다 뭐죠. 때는 뒤져도 거 랑도 마르샤라는 삼거라. 이나다 센다디 다 코치 때는 거 냐면도 삼거라다. 냐면도 거다 뭐는 거 랑도 메도스.
근데 가디 타베나. 가제 때네 답에 땡주 때라 때네 아니 도마니다 글로셔 거린지. 그리고 땡데데 돈이데 비트셔로 와. 돈이 땡데 받다고 말아. 땡데에다 돈이 된다. 그래서 땡데가 나자다 하 코니 아니 바빠바근 어떤 분이
땡데다 라바로 그래요.
라바로. 데 파테니 다 레테 라바셔 거. 아니 땡데가 나자다 바빠바바바 다 땡네 따바 마도 아랑을 좀 만들고 삼거나 다 돈이 되고 걸어 바꿔 줘요 그래.
또 땡네 딱 맞아. 땡네 두바.
땡네 두바도 다 땡네 두바. 땡네 숑아.
그래.
땡네 숑아에 베게 나자디야 다 땡네 마저 다 걸어 봐. 땡네 마저 가다 또 많이나 바꿔.
땡네 마저.
맞는 마저 또 많이나 걸어 그러 봐. 또 많이나 간이 맞대 맞이 요 말에 땡네 딱 봐래.
땡네 녀면 상태 동버려 봐.
단위 답에 따라서는 많이 봐.
땡네. 땡네 많이 봐.
많이 받은 때 타오로 좀 받아. 타오로.
타오로. 그래.
또 많이 거들어 줘 놓고. 단위 답에 따라서 많이 봐서. 또 많이 대대로 타오에 들어와.
Yeah, so not finding, upon searching, is more subtle. Of course, they talk about, when how you understand emptiness, is through dependent origination. So the dependent origination is the reason for understanding emptiness, not the emptiness, for another way. Yeah, so you understand the dependent origination, so how it depends now, and for this for it to exist, how it depends on other things, these things, that things, and so forth. And then in that way you understand, it doesn't exist from its own side. It depends on all these different things. So therefore it doesn't exist independently. When you understand that, then you negate the independent, independently existing the object, right? So that of course also is empty. Yeah? But that one is more easier. So if you say, so when you search for the thing, then that's conventionally, or nominally imputed as such and such. When you search for that thing, if you don't find it, then that's also empty. So that one is more subtle.
Is there a term for that type of meditation?
가능해. 가기들아.
근데 공장이라. 다 가서 때도전에 많이 와줘라. 많이 봐 공부들아. 때 동반이 공부해서 되디 때
다또만이 공부하죠. 다니 답에서 많이 봐대 다또만이.
다니 얘기?
다니 바타타타타타 다는 많이 받으라. 다또만이 해도 된다고 왔어.
그래.
또만이 여 매우 그저 말어 왔어. 아니 파테는 얘가 말했어.
So when so there's not a term that just said that way. There's not like one single term to describe about that. That's how you say. So it's just saying like you can't find it. So there's you label it something. Conventionally you label it something like a table, book, or something. But then which is the book? When you look for it, you can't find it. And that's the reality. That's the reality. You can't find it. Upon searching for it, and that's the reality. Yeah, but doesn't mean that it doesn't exist. You just can't find it, but doesn't mean it doesn't exist.
이제 소소 나왔다 많이 봐. 나왔다 많이 봐. 또 걸어 봐. 대도나다 또 많이 걸어 봐. 고아니다구나.
And so just like it appears to us, you cannot find the way it appears to us. It is there, but not the way it appears to us. We can't find that. So when you understand the things do not exist the way it appears to us, and that time you have understood the emptiness.
Okay. Yes.
Is it correct to think that emptiness describes how objects don't exist, but dependent arising describes how they do exist?
뭐가로?
동반이기 다 최대 간대지는 가는 가서 매단 간대시고 그랬어.
뭐 동반이 세대 최대가 내려오셔 그랬어.
뭐 동반이 세대 매단데 딱 랑원 두번 매단데 시고 그랬어. 동반이라네.
뭐 동반이 걔네 계셔.
근데 텐데되기 안에 때네 두바 여단데 시고 그랬어.
동반이 매다셔 그잖아. 동반이
랑원은 마두바
동반이 세대
emptiness.
So emptiness is describes how all we know of emptiness is it's empty of inherent existence.
Yeah.
Phenomenon doesn't exist inherently. So that only tells you how it doesn't exist. But how it does exist is as a dependent arising.
동반이 세대 최대가 내려오게 계셔 그랬어. 내려도 가나 되대.
그래 내려도 되대. 나도 랑원은 마두바데 내려오라다 거. 랑원은 마두바 랑싱이 마두바 되네 시거래. 동반이기. 안에 되네 텐데되기 안에 때네 두바 시거래. 그 여당하다 매단 되시고. 랑원은 마두바 동반이 시거래. ene tende dege tene duba shigo 스 도 하나 되다
탄이 자정 가데 탄이는 저랑 것도 맞으나 다시 하다데 텐데 세티가 아니 추디 요당 간데가 요트 간데 좀 봐셔 요레스 돈이 세티 추디가 내로 가야 봐셔 돼요
예 추디다 그 랑원 두바 메달 간데 랑원 두바 메단데 시고라 랑원 두바 메바데 시고라 동반이기 랑원 두바 메바 동반이기 시 아니 테네 두바 텐데기 시
되게
there's lot of do that.
You
can say in that way.
Yeah.
I mean, both are the same, the reality. What emptiness is the reality. So emptiness is talking about empty of existing from its own side, empty of existing inherently, and so forth. So that's the reality. Yeah. And then dependent origination also says like, oh, it doesn't, it exists through dependence on cause and effect or to label and so forth. So that also is reality.
추대 남자 간대지 연구요 같이 제가 돈에서 되게 다 내고 오늘 가는 봐. 근데 뭐라?
텐데디기 남자.
텐데디가 남자 다 추대 놀면 도단으로 가는 거지.
So the dependent origination explains how things exist. How things exist.
돈에서 되다 되는 다 탐에 있고 그러고 내력도 어디 가르쳐. 뭐에 내도 가르쳐.
So the emptiness explains like the actual mode of existence, what's the reality of the object.
다 돈에서 같이 제하면 간지 파트네 때는 녀면아 간지. 서로 사만이 녀가 말했어. 텔라 돈이라 그랬어.
And so when you say emptiness, so emptiness is like not finding, upon searching. So you search, for this thing, and upon searching, you will not find, just like it appears to us, you will not find the way it appears to us. The way it appears to us will not be found, and so that is emptiness.
But I guess I'm thinking back, and I may be misremembering this from awarenesses and knowers, who said that the definition and the definendum, you can't have a positive definitum and a negative definition. Like when you have that, if you have a phenomenon and then emptiness, and so what dependent origination does is then you have both a positive definition and definitum.
Is the definitum the thing being defined?
Yeah.
Okay. It's also a reputation. I just had not heard the term definitum before. I'm guessing.
The thing that is defined. Yeah, the thing that is defined is definitum. 천지다 천자여라. 천지다 천자 니가 때문에 가봐도 두바서라. 천지 가봐다 안 천자 두바 되는 샤요 말았어.
대단히 델핀 탄슈 장만데. 디탄이 말해. 된 텐데서는 천지도 동반이는 저자 디케셔 말해.
So here it's not talking about definition, definitum. It's like emptiness is not a definition or definitum of dependent origination.
But of the inherent nature, though, of phenomenon. I think I can see where this is falling apart, but yeah.
동반예세도 그러고 의원에서 그래요 봐. 의원인데도 내려서 다 대연발라 오나 바지 쭉 접근도 왔더니 다 땡땡 나서 돼.
집어라 니자다 된다도 집어라.
된다도 빠이다 가로.
동반이다 된다서.
땡땡도 가지 동반이 되게 작게 왔어. 땡땡 연장 가도
동반이는 땡땡 매차.
랑군에 들어가도나 랑군에 들어서나 아니 땡고 말해서 제가 땡고 소소 랑차 개버려. 다 랑차 먹혀 봐야잖아. 제가 땡네. 제가 땡봐야자 제가 맞템바 아니 라말에 봐 랑군에 들어가도 말해서. 된다 동반이 돼서.
It's a non-implicative negation, right? Because it doesn't imply anything.
마인가도 메가 세케트셔라.
되니까
메가세. 동반이데 가래 메가라.
동반이 메가라 봐나. 신당 단다 군인 되게 되게 좀 말해. 지 마인가 지면가 되게 좀 시고 말해.
Yeah.
되게 좀 말해.
How things don't exist?
Yeah, this makes sense. Yeah.
Yeah, same thing.
Yeah. Yes.
So just to I hope not to make things more complicated, but it's something that has come up in my readings about emptiness, and in just different ways that emptiness is talked about, because emptiness sometimes can be talked about as space-like. And also in the Heart Sutra, they talk about how the nature of realization of emptiness is the unobstructed mind. Because there is no aspiration, there is no fear. So, and then you also have practices that talk about trying to create a state in which your mind is like space. So, and then also there's talk about how you want to try to project images from emptiness, to create the image of like a Buddha or something like that out of emptiness. So using that emptiness as being almost like it comes out of out of emptiness, which is almost like space. So there's ways in which emptiness has been talked about almost like being a positive, and this for me has been helpful because to think about emptiness as a positive allows me to experience the negation of the inherent existence as being of one taste with the unobstructed mind, which is space-like. So that it's like the experience of just the full expanse of my mind
And the unobstruction of that is the realization of emptiness. Because whenever I project a inherent existence on something or on myself, there's always something blocking it. There's always something obstructing it. So that sense of the unobstructed mind is something that helps me very much to understand emptiness.
또 가서 동반이 쓰는 또 남하나시 남하라 다 간서 가서 가서 디바다 다 디바다 토야 되는 게 말아 다들 또 마디베 선배서 디바요나 당아도 가서 당원을 두 봐서면 선배 디바지요나 되게 되는 동반이 더 말았어 왔다가 그래서 다들 디바메 봐 마디바 동반이 세대 마디베 선배 하는 가서 동반이네 다른 가서 학기하세요 동반이를 학기하서는 가서 남파네 딸 사요 남파다 그랬어 남파 또 동바라 토레 매바다 토레 매바 되는 남파 되는 소소 학기하고 섬당 거였어 그래서 동반이서는 가서 섬되는 동반이서는 딱 가서 야보스나다 가서 야보도 말하다 가서 포지티브 된 상황이 있었다
특히가는 되는 사람도 말해 남과 나지 기자 말이다 간지
남과 빼셔 걸었어
다 빼다 남과로 걸어 간지 동반이 라야 이제 통하다 라야 이제 요 말다 그것도 많이 보지
또 마디베 셈바던 또 가서 디바르 가서 년도부터 시립되는 동반이 또 말았어
동반이서 시바임 계셔 말해 남도 전에다 동반이 따버서 그러와
So emptiness, is not a mind. It's not a mind, and emptiness is a permanent.
Yeah.
Permanent. Just like 2 + 2 = 4 is permanent. No, you said that.
간지 나도 저 하지다 돼. 가죠. 랑군의 마트에 나네 에너지 라치세로. 된다 샤르바지.
또 똑바더라. 삼바더라. 쉐바더라.
대 삼거로 왔어.
근데 쉐바드 파야 깨거라.
간지
근데 쉐바를 때네 다 하게 돼.
근데 시바를 때네 다 하게 거라. 간지
쉐바 거랑.
랑군의 트바도 덴바 트바도 때네 에네 싸워지네 매서. 대매배 나네 에네 양조지 산나로 오진데네 라 다 삼거나 땅에 오르 왔어.
그러나 좀 디바 매버세데 디바라 하다. 년대도 실에서 딥세죠. 디비아게 셈데 매버나 때는 아주 동이 또고라서. 근데 디바 셈에나 된 동이 토토 말아서 데려와. 그때 하나 디거라. 동반이 또 보라가도 년대 실에 갈 때서 또 파지. 방고거라. 다 그런 거가게 디바 방고거라.
방도 거 말면은
뭐가게 디바. 뭐가게.
다 간지 낸지 같은 방고 여러 번 해서 방고 말아.
뭐가게 디바.
상선 봐봐도 상선 변화 처럼 오면 뭐 동반이 또 여러 번. 나 더게 빠요 말해. 나 낸지 와도 고 낸지 말아. 그래
당원도 맞죠.
대등에도 맞죠.
간세 다가 먼저 와도 연나 그 돈이 또 통말아.
nen지 제대로 갈 돈이 또 통말.
So of course, when you talk about the obstruction, like deluded obstruction or obstruction to knowledge, those kind of things. So that of course obstructs you from, or prevents you from seeing the emptiness. But that seeing emptiness is the knowledge. It's the wisdom. It's the wisdom. It's not emptiness itself. Emptiness itself is, like I said, permanent, right? So we're talking about the wisdom realizing emptiness. So wisdom realizing emptiness is developed, by removing that obstruction. So, but that's a different level of wisdom realizing emptiness. So you realize emptiness even at the time when you enter into the path, or even before enter into the path, you can realize emptiness. And after entering into the path, you can realize emptiness in the path of accumulation and path of preparation. You can also realize emptiness. But that time, you still have the obstructions. And even if you have, when you have the direct realization of emptiness, the wisdom realizing emptiness directly, even at that time you have some obstruction. But the obstruction obstructing you from seeing the emptiness of that level has been abandoned. And then before that, there's a manifesting obstruction. You have to abandon that. You have to remove that. If the manifesting obstruction is still there, you won't be able to see emptiness. And at the time when the obstructions, like delusions, are manifesting, you will not see the emptiness. And of course, there's other obstructions, like Geshe was talking about the innate obstruction. innate, so that came from life to life, goes from all the way up to enlightenment, up to until you achieve enlightenment. That innate obstruction is there all the time. You can't remove that. You don't have to remove that in order to see emptiness. And then when we talk about arising, in the form of the deity from the state of emptiness, that is actually the realization or knowledge or the thought. And so in the actual, somebody who have the realization, of course they have that, through that realization they can. For somebody who doesn't have realization like me, I would think like, oh, everything is empty. And so that very mind which thinks everything is empty or exists from its own side, that very mind I transform into the form of the deity like that. So that's the difference.
Okay.
Were you saying that things are emptiness is not really negation, but it's also positive?
I'm saying
like
that
all things are possible because of emptiness.
That I believe might be related to what I'm saying, but I think that what I was referring to was the effect of realizing that things are not truly established. That is a positive. And that positive is the unobstruction of the mind. And that is because it's natural to think that when you're like flooding a bowl for a long time and suddenly you release it, there's this rush of like, experiencing the truth, right? So that experiencing of the truth is a positive. And I consider that, so that might be what he's talking about, the difference between the wisdom realizing emptiness versus emptiness itself. Because emptiness itself is just like a permanent, but the wisdom realizing emptiness is a positive. It's something that arises. It's something that even affects you in a way that might change how you see the world. It's something that is not just a mere negation of something that is.
Like there's no truly existing you.
Right.
Like because there's no truly existing you, you can become Buddha.
Right. Exactly.
So
Yeah.
that's the positive.
Yeah. Well, similar because. Like, so I was talking about it more in the terms of like, almost like you can imagine like the heart being like a sun, the mind being like a sun. But there's these observations that we have that create blockages from that light to shine. So when we remove those blockages, which we cause when we think things are stuck, things are inherently existent. When we remove those blockages, then suddenly becomes sun. So that to me is that experience of the positive aspect of realizing emptiness, and not merely that emptiness is just this negation, this non-affirmative negation, non-affirming negation, non-implicative negation.
It sounds like I'm not sure. I think you're talking about positivity of Buddhism. That's pretty much what you're saying.
Well, emptiness is lack, right? It's a quality of.
But what happens when you realize that something is lacking in is something really positive. It's the wisdom realizing emptiness.
Positive and negative in it. I'm just like purely like
existing. I know what you mean. And I'm saying that the wisdom realizing emptiness is something that exists. And so it's how does the wisdom realizing emptiness?
No, but when we're talking about emptiness, we're talking about emptiness being the lack of inherent nature.
Yeah.
Okay, not the wisdom realizing. It's just that quality, the lack of inherent nature.
Yeah.
That's negative. Okay, so we say phenomenon lacks it. What is it? What is that?
So the emptiness itself is just the non-affirming negative, right? So it's not anything in particular. It's not really anything. But the wisdom that arises from realizing emptiness is this removing of an obscuration of mind.
I was only talking about it in relation to dependent origination, like the relationship between dependent origination and emptiness.
Yeah.
동원이 가르세. 동원이 가르세.
혼자서는 다 마인가다 매가게 같이 시고
I think
왔던데.
that realizing emptiness causes something that is.
당고도 그냥 두바다 가봤어요. 되게 쉬워다.
Yeah.
그냥 저 두바는 보드로는 두바서 그래. 그냥 딜라더냐 그냥 보드라네. 그래서 약보다 오셔. 네기들로는 독자다 오셔야 되네. 내내 쉐이스.
티키자 말이야.
세 말아. 가샤도 가봐도 두 봤어요, 저렇게.
Well, that's something to think about. Yeah.
This is not like that. So it's good your discussion that. It's very good. Even makes more, you can think more. It's very good. Enjoy that. Tombanya mega. And Tony to a lot of do it. Take a matter. It's Tombanya mega. Tanda Kishate Shagamaris.
So I don't know, what do you talk about the negative and positive? What do you mean by like positive, right? So why is it a positive? So with
She was meaning something that exists, as in something that dependently arises, which negates the nihilism. That which negates. Is that what you phrased?
No, we were saying the negative in that, they say,
so it's just saying like have is positive, doesn't have is negative.
like when we say, okay, the object is empty of inherent existence. It doesn't tell you what the object is, though, or it says it's empty of its...
Any object.
Right, but maybe I'm applying this incorrectly, but...
Like this book, the book is empty of inherent existence.
That Devadava doesn't eat during the day, right?
Yeah.
And that implies that he eats at night, right?
Or fat.
Tikijamar. Tanda Tombanya Tikijamar.
But so when you say...
Tanda Rangwa the Toman, Rangun the Toman, Jela Rale Pare.
Mayenga the mega
Tanda the Mike Mega Shagan.
Tombanya the mega.
It's not Tombanya Mega race.
So when we talk about the affirmative negative and non-affirmative negative, then you can apply to that. So when it's affirmative and non-affirmative negative are two different things, right? And so the emptiness, where does it fall into? Then it is non-affirmative negative. So it doesn't affirm anything. When you say things do not exist from its own side, doesn't exist, from its own side, doesn't affirm that it exists some way, It doesn't affirm that. So therefore it's a non-affirmative. Yeah. So, but there's no negative about the it's not affirmative negative or non-affirmative. There's nothing about the dependent origination. Mayenga the mega keshiga mate. Tombanya kita mega shigora.
Tombanya sade mega was, and Gaba dwa kun mega res. Positive energy.
Mayenga the mega nisha.
Yeah, Mayenga mega nisha. Tombanya the mega res. Ka demba tawasite. Kanji demba mataba inza.
So because the tende sidune Gaba the Dubanya shigora.
Tende theo got keshiga maro. Theo keshiga maro.
So yeah, when we talk about the emptiness, because it negates something, right? So therefore it's saying negative.
Right.
But is it a affirmative negative or non-affirmative? That is non-affirmative negative. So emptiness, so just leave it after that. But when you talk about the dependent origination, it has nothing to do with the affirmative or non-affirmative negative. It's not talking about negative at all.
Ta demba thamata sangala ta demba thawasate ta druva. Thi losode demba mataba ta gajam mega Tombanya sate shigora.
And then when we talk about the existing truly or not existing truly, and then you can talk about the negative and positive, or existing and non-existing. So what is establishing and what is not establishing. So at that time you can talk about that.
Well, it could be. So it's almost like dependent origination turns emptiness into affirming negative, because you say it's empty of inherent in nature because it's a dependent arising.
Karo.
네, 다들 동반이기 되네 가서 가서 마행가 더 가서 된대기 동반이 마행가 되시거라. 마행가에 뭐 시거라. 좀 다른 것도 메가라서 와라. 메가 와다 동반 된대기 마행가 가서 가서 그 동반에 가서는 그 된대래서 와라.
맞아.
아그 마행가.
제세나 된대기 동반이 팀 메가 마시거라. 된대 동반이 되지러 왔어. 다 된대가 동반이는 마행가 시작하이나 아니 된대가 동반이 다곧 신경 시작하고.
So if it is a non-affirmative, and affirmative negative, then it will be affirming negative, right? So then it will be proving that emptiness is negative. So actually, the dependent origination is affirming that emptiness is not negative.
그래서 땐데 돈이 되게라 봐. 땐데 돈이도 많이 가져서나 인제 많이 받으셔야 봐.
So if the usually the dependent origination is to prove the emptiness, right? To prove the emptiness. But if you say if it is affirming negative, then it affirms that it is negative. Then it affirms that it's not dependent origination.
But good thing about that, okay? Okay, now we stop.
If it's affirming negative.
That's good. Okay, thank you. Now we'll stop. Yes.
I just wanted to say, I've been quiet all night. I'm lost in all this. It's way above my head. And I don't want to get into the definition of is or isn't. However, just the other day, Geshe, I'm having problems with too many thoughts in my head. Not good thoughts either, but good enough, I should say. So anyways, I started thinking about this mindfulness, and breathe and all that. And I said, I really don't want to be mindful. So I played with the word. So I coined the phrase, mindlessness. Might be best for my head.
Okay. Thank you, Mr. Andrew. Okay, we can do short prayer.